try the panelist one
on? So you can see the questions.
Yeah, participants 9.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. It really gives Proudly South African the greatest of pleasure to take you through a session, what we are calling the RSA Made Masterclass. With that said, all those online who'd like to tweet, please utilize hashtag RSA Made Masterclass. If you'd like to tweet about us, talk about the session, we'd much appreciate that. So it gives me great pleasure to be your master of ceremonies today in this very comprehensive session. This is ideally a session for companies that are currently members of Proudly South African or who are thinking of coming on board and who'd like to take advantage of our member benefits that are in place. One of which is a relatively new venture for us, and it's the online e-commerce space. We have been online now for just over 3 years, and it's sad to know not all of our members are currently on the online e-commerce platform, which is a free to list a benefit for companies that are members of Proudly South African. There's wonderful opportunity to open up your own vendor store, enlist your products, etc. But on the line today, or on this webinar today, you'll hear from a number of our stakeholders, which has made this dream happen.
Hi, Janine. Sorry, can you just hold on for 1 second? There seems to be a problem on our side. We just quickly some technical issues.
Are we not live, Nadia?
We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. We just have to send our Zoom link live, but we are live on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, thank you. I'll give it a couple of minutes. I'll be advised by you. Thank you, team. Good morning, everybody. This is take two. So just to let you know, we are streaming on various platforms. So apologies, we had to sync everything together. So I am going to reopen this morning. Thank you very, very much for joining. I'm seeing a lot of greetings from members of Proudly South African. So today's session is called the RSA Made Masterclass. I am Janine van Straten, and I work at Proudly South African. I'm head of stakeholder relations, strategy, as well as legal at the organization. So it really gives me great pleasure to be with you this morning. This is called the RSA Made Masterclass. And ideally on this platform, we'll have a number of companies that are members of Proudly South African. Some are on the RSA Made e-commerce site. Some are prospective members of Proudly South African, and also companies who might be interested in joining. So very welcome to all of you today. And this morning session will be with you for about an hour and a half. And Proudly South African has rolled out many benefits for member companies. But our new venture is RSA Made. It's a member company of Proudly South African that have started their own e-commerce platform. And it is something that we're so proud of. We have joined forces with RSA Made, and RSA Made is the official online platform for Proudly South African member products as well as services. So before I introduce you to the crew today, you'll be hearing from RSA Made, from other service providers who I'm sure you've all been notified by now, many times, about Proudly South African's presence at the 2020 Dubai Expo, or the 2020 Expo Dubai. We are very, very thrilled to be working with the DTIC to take our members to be a part of this platform through the RSA Made platform. So I hope that today will convince you that, number one, it's quick, it's easy. We've got a wonderful team on board to make your experience fun and interactive, so that you can really benefit from not only selling your product locally via an online platform, but also to take your product abroad. So quite excited to share that with you. The hashtag for this morning, if you're on Twitter and other platforms, please use hashtag RSA Made Masterclass. Our PR team has advised me that is the hashtag to use. And you'll hear from me, and I'll take you through Proudly South African, what membership entails, what it means to be a member, what benefits are available for you as our member company. And then also I'll hand over then to the RSA Made team. And then also you'll hear about the actual RSA Made online e-commerce platform, becoming a part of a virtual expo that will enable you to go, so to speak, to Dubai. And then also you'll hear from another team member on the process and the mechanisms of getting that done. So looking forward to spending the morning with you. I know a number of people have popped some comments in the chat box, so we'll have a look at those as we progress during the morning. But also, if you have any questions, please pop them in the Q&A box. I'm going to share my screen and take you through the benefits of becoming a member. So Proudly South African is the national Buy Local campaign. We were established back in 2001, and it was as a result of the 1998 Job Summit that there was an idea that a Buy Local campaign would really benefit the country. And as you all know, the country faces and continues to do so a triple threat, of which unemployment is really the one that Proudly South African focuses on. So our message is very clear: buy local to create jobs, and that addresses the need to alleviate unemployment in the country. So Proudly South African, a buy local campaign is not just it's not just something that's specific to South Africa. Many countries are part of this global phenomenon. So it's not just especially for South Africa. We were actually modeled off the Australian Made campaign originally back in the day. So it's our 20th anniversary this year. But other countries also have various initiatives. The USA has legislation in place. UK has Keep It Local UK, Philippines, etc. And we're quite proud that we have been working with a lot of our counterparts in Africa to get their Buy Local campaign going. So we do work and consult with many companies abroad that have their own Buy Local campaign also. The US is an interesting case study. I mean, they have legislation in place, quite strict and stringent, and it really talks to supporting the industries that are really labor intensive. So automotive is a big one, and it was quite good to know that, you know, when President Biden did take up office, that he encouraged the federal government to buy local, and he did put an executive order in place in his first week to really move that messaging forward. Of course, why is it important to support local? This is part of the education drive that we do. It's of course to retain or create jobs. It also talks to skills development, economic development, empowerment, improved living standards, infrastructure development, and of course, increase in the GDP. And also, we're also looking at the balance of trade. We're looking at increasing export to really reduce imports. And we call this project import replacement. So Proudly South African is working with a number of stakeholders in that space to make sure what can we make more of in the country that we are bringing in. So very important that this be addressed, and that's the localization work that we're doing, in addition to various education drives, as well as working with the public and private sectors. So our job really is, we're an advocacy campaign. We're completely independent. We're very fortunate to have on our board all the social partners of NEDLAC. So we've got wonderful representation from all social partners. And of course, it's labor. We work with government, civil societies, and business. And what we seek to do is really speak to the public sector. There is designation in place. There is legislation in place that really encourages government or actually forces government to buy local in certain instances. But also, we also plead to our colleagues to buy local, because they, in essence, they are also consumers in their own right and have the ability to self-designate for their entity, that state-owned entity or government department, or whichever the procurement officer does represent. And then, of course, we work with the private sector. It's got the biggest buying power in the country. We have a number of tools in place, and I'll go through them with you shortly. I must ask everybody who's on the call, please do mute yourselves. I did hear a page turn there, so please do that. Thank you so much. And then also we also influence consumers to make the right choice. So we have talks, and we ask for consumers when they do go into the stores to lift the product, flip it over, check the label of origin, which is made in South Africa, if they don't see the Proudly SA logo, to make that choice. So that's also the education that we are doing in this regard. If I can ask, please, those who are not on mute, to please mute. Unfortunately, we're getting some feedback. As I mentioned, the three focus areas, which is the public sector, private sector, and consumer education that we do. But of course, it's all good and well to say, hey, everybody, buy local. But if people don't know where to find locally made products, then it's really not a fruitful discussion. And this is really where we're coming in with our e-commerce side, the RSA Made side, is we need to promote accessibility of locally made products and services. And what better way to do that than have an online store? So this is one of the ways that we can really promote what the work that our members do in both the manufacturing space as well as the services space. Where does Proudly South African sit in the value chain? So we pretty much, if we look at the retail example as per the slide, we have manufacturers on our books as member companies. In that there are members, we do lobby and request that they utilize as much raw material and locally made components as possible. And then also we have retailers on our books as member companies. They also have the buying power, of course. So we lobby for them to buy local, buy from our membership base. And then, of course, the consumers come into play, where we ask consumers to please choose the Made in SA Made in SA brand or Made in SA products when they do go to the store. So we're pretty much in the middle of the whole value chain. And our key role is here, it's big and it's in yellow, it's to stimulate demand for locally made products. Somebody is still not on mute. Please, colleagues, I plead with you, can you please put yourself on mute? There is some feedback and page turning happening. Thank you so much. So who can become a member of Proudly South African? So absolutely any organization. We are very fortunate to have manufacturers, service providers, really commercial entities, but also we have NGOs because they have buying power. We've got associations because they've got member companies. And through that work, anybody who's got a buying power that's situated in the country, we do encourage membership with those companies too, in addition to the manufacturers, etc. So we've got 4 key criteria before companies can be eligible to become members of Proudly South African. And if I can refer you to the logo on the left-hand side, they are the colors of the national flag, and that's representative of local content. So our key figure is 50. And what we mean by that is at least 50% of the final cost of production must take place within the borders of the country. So we don't want a plastic wheelbarrow coming from China, you slap on wheels and call it made in SA. That is exactly what we're protecting our members from. We really want to, we're quite very stringent on the local content compliance, that companies be vetted in accordance with that. So of course, if certain raw materials have to be brought in, we are quite aware of the fact that we don't have a lot of raw material available. We know we don't make a lot of components locally. So we have to be cognizant of that. So that's why we've got the 50% final cost of production in place. Then, of course, that big green tick is synonymous with quality. So what does quality mean? I mean, we don't want to have a product carrying our logo that is going to be hurting the consumer. So we must make sure that that product has been vetted in accordance with what each and every industry dictates in terms of regulation. So for instance, if you're a manufacturer of medical PPEs, you would have to be registered with SAHPRA, etc. And if you're making shampoo, have you tested your shampoo with a SANIS accredited laboratory? If you have a big factory, do you have an ISO certification? So we take all of that into account. And of course, a lot of our industries are not stringently regulated. So we also take that into account, and we have means and measures to do so. And then we look at environmental standards. We don't want a member company of ours to hurt the environment. And also, we also consider companies' HR policies. Are they adhering to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act when they employ? So we have to take all of these elements into consideration before membership can be awarded. And we have a membership team that does this vetting. There's a membership application form that needs to be filled out. So if you are interested right now, I can say to you, send us an email, info@proudlysa.co.za. That's a way to reach the membership department. And so we do the vetting. This vetting of each company before they come on board. And as with everything, it does come at a cost. But the cost of membership has been reduced significantly. In 2017, the entry level for membership was 1,000 Rand. And the maximum amount was 500,000 Rand. So the membership fees have been reduced. NGOs, startups, and crafters, we look at annual sales turnovers, and these companies will be eligible for 500 Rand, excluding that membership fee, and it incrementally increases depending on each company's sales turnover. There are also applicable discounts in place for the larger corporations, and also monthly payment plans, because we are very much aware that COVID has struck and have really hurt a lot of our member companies. A lot of them can't renew their memberships. So we've had to be understanding and take their cash flow into consideration. Our membership fees, I mean, my presentation is ordinarily very, very long, but we're looking at 40-something slides. But I've reduced it just to give you a taste of what membership really entails. And as our time with you today is really to give RSA Made the opportunity to talk about the work that they're doing, what you as a member company can experience, why is there an e-commerce platform, how to go about enlisting on it, and also talks to our work in Dubai, which is really what we want each and every member who have the capability and who have the capacity to manufacture in order to export, to really come on board. And I'm using the export phrase very loosely. It's really not exporting per se, but it's more making product available on an online platform to consumers who are abroad who want to buy your product. So membership benefits are the use of the Proudly SA logo, and that's on marketing collateral, corporate collateral, also products made in South Africa. We have access to market platforms for the public sector. We monitor tenders in the designated space. So products government has to buy. We have an algorithm in place with keywords pertaining to those products. We extract these tenders, we forward it onto our member companies to have first-hand access to tender opportunities. You would have, as a member company, you would have received our mail merge this week, notifying you of a wonderful opportunity for you to integrate with the central supplier database. And that's what National Treasury has put out in order for them to do business for companies to do business with government, you have to be enlisted on the CSD. So we are going to make it easy for member companies to do that. Consumer-focused projects that we have in place, RSA Made is top of the list. And I'll introduce you shortly to our colleagues at RSA Made to take you through the ethos behind RSA Made, why it came on board, etc., and also how to go about becoming a vendor on RSA Made. We have joint promotions. We have consumer-targeted campaigns, major expos and events where we take our member companies. So we do have a lot of initiatives to take members' products and services to businesses and consumers. We also have an extensive marketing strategy and activities in place. I'm sure you would have noticed, this is one of them. You would have noticed a lot of invitations to events, etc. And then also we have a PR and communication arm of the business, which is very strong. We've got a newsletter, we're on social media, and we also have our CEO's got a weekly, I think it's now probably a monthly or a bi-weekly column in business reports and participating newspapers. The private sector, which is really the key focus of my role at the organization, is to really ensure that our members' products and services are available to businesses. We've got our database of local products and services, which also translates onto a listing that we consider to be portals on the RSA, on a Proudly South African side. And then we've got the Market Access Platform, or MAP, which is really a supply chain manager's dream. We are inviting all of our members to enlist as a supplier, and we're knocking on all the association bodies and their members' doors for them to procure through the Market Access Platform. So please do heed the call and come on board. If you want any more information, please send us an email at info@proudlysa.co.za. And of course, we do a number of sector-specific events where we really look at industries facing challenges. We facilitate B2B opportunities for members. We're very fortunate. We are working with the National Hospital Network. They will be asking their members to procure from our portals, looking at the listing on the site, but also to utilize MAP for their business needs. So we are talking to them in November and December. So that is a wonderful opportunity for our members. But we're also working with the Franchise Association. Dragon's Den pitches have happened in the past very successfully. So we want to revive that and make sure that there are more opportunities for our member companies. And then international, national trade shows. We work very closely with the DTIC. We're also part of this 2020 Expo Dubai through our virtual expo, which is through the RSA Made platform. And then I've mentioned sector-specific opportunities. Proudly South African is really what I think our greatest achievement is how we touch consumers. And we have been very, very strong in the work that we do in that space. You might have seen an ad of ours with Dr. John Carney walking through all the factories and they're shutting down because we said we wanted to buy we wanted to support companies that aren't our own, and this is the consequences. And that campaign has really has really grown into a very strong lifestyle-focused campaign where we took the soccer scenario, Game Time Mzansi. We asked Dr. John Carney back. He's a great support, and he acted as our president here. And you'll also see that we are asking consumers to make buying local a lifestyle choice. And you might have also seen we've launched the Living Lekker Locally campaign. And if we have time at the end, I'd love to play that for you as we conclude the day. But I want to share It's Game Time Mzansi with you now before I introduce our next speaker to you. So let Dr. John Carney take it away.
The second half is about to begin. We need to change the scoreboard. Time for all of us to pause and rethink the game plan in order to save the future. I call on all of us to be game changers because greatness isn't reserved only for some people. By buying local, we're choosing to create jobs and sustain the ones we have. Time and time again, South Africans have taken destiny into their own hands, creating products that the rest of the world wanted to buy. See, the world remembers about us what we sometimes forget, but it's time for change. Let's all buy local. It's game time, Mzansi.
Local is lekker.
Your everyday decisions shape our future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Ntai Kojane. Ntai is the chairman and co-founder of RSA Made. And Ntai will talk to you about why RSA Made exists, the connection between Proudly South African, and also some other information. Thank you, Ntai. Over to you. My colleague, you're on mute.
Sorry, I've done 1,000 of these, and every single time I seem to start off on the wrong foot, but be that as it may, I'm live now. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Good morning again. My name is Ntai Kojane, like Janine mentioned, one of the co-founders and chairman of RSA Made. My job today really is a simple one. I don't have any slide decks sorry, to share with you today. I really just want to walk you through some of the thinking behind RSA Made and why we exist, how it came about, our relationship with Proudly SA, which Janine touched on a little bit earlier as well. I'm going to take you through our fee structure on how we've commercialized this platform and how it works for you, and then finally I'm going to also just kind of walk you through or talk you through the meaning behind drop shipping, which is essentially the business model on which we created our platform. So about the platform, very quickly, I think it's a story we like to tell quite often. Myself and my business partner Karamba, who will be on just after me, came about to create this platform after him and his wife actually were online shopping some time back, and were looking for specifics. They were looking for things specifically made in South Africa, and they struggled to do that. For them, it was obviously a letdown, but I think more than that, it was an opportunity that they saw for us to create something that would solve this problem, would fix this problem. So we were sitting in his living room, 2015, I think it was, sometime summer 2015, doing what we do as South Africans. We were braaiing and we were having non-alcoholic beer, and we decided, look, let's create something that is an aggregation of all of the South African merchants who want to be a part of the online movement, who want a different access or a different channel to market that they are not currently using today, and ultimately bringing something to the world, not just to South Africa, something to the world that would make shopping online easier in terms of looking for South African made goods. So we registered the company in 2016, and we started trading immediately. I think what Karamba and I thought of and knew very early on is that there's going to be an endless it's going to be an endless journey in terms of getting this platform to be world class, to accommodate everybody and every device, to accommodate all technologies. And so, you know, we started small, and I think we are still small. We consider ourselves an SMME, but I think the job at hand and the motive behind this operation is massive. We believe truly that everybody who is a merchant in South Africa should have not just a bricks and mortar type setup, but they should also be online. If they're not online, then they're not really selling. So we wanted to facilitate that let's say that process. So RSA Made essentially is an online mall. It's an online shopping center. If you want shoes, you can come to RSA Made. If you want water, you can come to RSA Made. If you want medicine, if you want alcohol, you can get it all in RSA Made. Why do we do it that way? Well, here's the reason behind that really is twofold. The first one is we want to make it easier for everybody to shop online. We have many South Africans abroad who miss, you know, the beauties and the luxuries of home, who want to shop and get things delivered to their houses, whether they're in the US, Europe, Australia. They want access to South African goods, and it hasn't been easy to get that done. The second reason is think of yourself as a business owner today, and how you sell and who runs your sales operations. It's quite costly, and I think it's something that we cannot ask of all SMEs to do, to host or to build an online platform selling their goods. It costs time and money to do that. So again, one of the other main reasons why we thought let's create this amazing platform was we can take away that headache for you. So instead of you having a website as well as an e-commerce platform, because the two are different. A website is really just an advertisement and a marketing thing to kind of let people know that you're there. It's a whole nother thing to actually have an e-commerce platform that has all the right policies in place and is accredited and can receive payments from all different types of scenarios. So we take Bitcoin, we take EFT, you know, we can organize taking cash, although we prefer not to, etc. So we want to take that headache away from all of the vendors, from all of the merchants, and have one mall where anybody who goes to Google and says, I want to buy XYZ made in South Africa, the first thing that's going to pop up is going to be RSA Made. And whatever it is that they were looking for, they will find. Obviously, we're still growing. We are still loading merchants every day on the daily, if not every hour. And I think that process will continue. The more and more merchants, the more and more customers hear about RSA Made, I think the more and more then people will become more comfortable with joining us and loading their products on the platform and creating their own stores. And when we set out to launch RSA Made, ours was not an aim to boycott imported goods, to boycott Nike or to boycott anything like that. It's really to, and I think Janine alluded to it earlier, it's really to educate people on the quality of product that we have in SA, the depth of product that we have in SA, and the availability of those things. So we're not saying stop buying Gucci. We're saying when you buy Gucci, also have Chippa in mind. We're not saying stop eating Snicker bars that's imported from the US. We're saying Darling Sweets in Cape Town makes some amazing chocolate as well. I think we often complain as a country, as citizens, about the lack of growth in our economy. But in order for that economy to grow, it has to start somewhere. And for us, this is our small way of showing our commitment to upliftment of our economy and to the exposure of our merchants to the globe. We didn't create RSA Made for only South Africans to shop online. Again, we want people from everywhere in the world, whether they've been on our soils or not, to experience the beauty which is South Africa and which is South African made products. Our journey then kind of transitioned and picked up pace quite nicely when we then teamed up with Proudly South African as not just a member, but also as a service provider. And what I like to think of as a partnership. I think Proudly South Africa's mandate, which Janine spoke at length about earlier, is very clear, and we are active participants in pushing that agenda. And we thought to ourselves when we were approached by Janine and the executive at Proudly SA, we thought to ourselves, there's no better way for us to increase our coverage, to increase our visibility, and to get more people online, because they've already obviously have merchants that they are serving in terms of Proudly South African membership. For us, it was a no-brainer. So our partnership started, like she said, 3 years ago, and it's been a relationship like any other. We obviously have a lot of ambition. We have a lot of creative thinking, and we have a lot of output and outcome that we want, and it's not always agreeable. So it's been a very healthy relationship, and we hope to continue that in future. Like I said, the social aspect of why RSA Made was created fits very much in line with the agenda for economic prosperity that Proudly South Africa pushes on a daily basis. So when we created RSA Made, we created it with a structure called drop shipping. And what drop shipping is essentially is a model where we don't house products. So RSA Made does not today manufacture or produce any goods. All we are is a platform that facilitates the transaction of sale of goods between consumers and creators, let me say, so merchants and consumers. So the way drop shipping works is this. Somebody wants to buy Darling Sweets chocolate from Cape Town. Darling Sweets is a member of Proudly SA and is also a merchant that sells on RSA Made. We have in the back end of our platform technology that gives alerts to Darling Sweets that Sarah on the street ordered your chocolates and would like them delivered to her house in Polokwane. All of that stuff is automated on the back end so that Darling gets a notification, we get a notification, our courier guys get a notification, and ultimately goods are delivered. The reason why we decided on the drop shipping method for now, or let me say the drop shipping model for now, is this. To create warehousing and the technology and the mechanics behind that operation is quite costly. And I think eventually we will get to a place where we are warehousing goods and dispatching from one central location. But for now, it made the most sense to kind of let our merchants build a relationship with us, let them see how our operation works, and let them see the benefits of listing their products on RSA Made. So we don't have any overhead that is related to a warehouse, but the efficiency of drop shipping is just as good as if we had our own warehouse, kind of like your Takealot does today. So that's the model on which we built this platform, and will be that way for the foreseeable future. Again, once we have an increase in merchants on the platform, an increase in product, an increase in buyers buying from the platform, we will then look into central warehousing and a relationship with our merchants that's on consignment. They house their stuff in our warehouse, and we end up paying for all of that. So at the moment, if you look at the fee structure is very simple. It's 25% in the B2C space, so business to consumer sales when you're buying individual product. The commission structure on there is 25%. And on the B2B side, the commission structure is 10%. You're probably asking yourself what it is we do with these commissions. Let me just briefly explain. The reason behind the B2C obviously being more than B2B is because B2B is bulk buying. So the more you buy, obviously, the better. And I think that's something that is not necessarily something that is new to everybody on the call. And with the commissions, we run the operation to make sure that we have visibility to not just people in South Africa shopping, but again, globally. This is a global operation as far as we're concerned. I think Janine said it best early. She said, we think in global, although we're acting local, and we're acting in the best benefit of our local merchants. So we give that exposure. We pay for digital marketing. We pay for free shipping in certain instances where people are buying it up, 1,000 Rand or more, and things of that nature. So in order to run the operation and take it away from you as a sales component in your business, that's how we've come to the determination of those fees being 25% and 10% respectively for the B2C and the B2B. In time, like I said, when we look at the warehousing opportunity and growing from where we are today, we will revisit those structures of those fees to, again, accommodate anything that has to be looked at in terms of housing of merchants' products and shipping from one central location. And then finally, if I can just indulge, you can indulge me for 1 second. I just want to take you to the platform. This will be the last bit of my presentation, just to kind of help you navigate through what is RSA Made online shopping today. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. I really just want to take you through to where we register. So this is the homepage. You click www.rsamade.co.za, and this is our homepage. What's most important for us, I think, is at the bottom for this audience. Let me say, at the bottom you will see we have a navigation. Let me call it section where it's about us, our blog, shop, become a vendor, and our brands. I just want to take your attention to the become a vendor, which is what is part of our masterclass today. You want to read through the vendor terms and conditions. We have condensed this quite significantly. It used to be a 20-page document. We have condensed it to make sure that we incorporate everything that is critical for you to become a member. At the bottom, you accept those terms and conditions. You go next, and you fill in your information in terms of your business, who you are, where you are, what you want to sell, etc. And then the other thing I just wanted to take your attention to was obviously then the shop. We can talk about all kinds of beautiful things and fancy things, but ultimately the goal here is to get our consumers to look at what the array of products we have on the platform, to click on what it is they want. And the idea behind this really is to, say somebody's coming on to look for a baby stroller, or they're looking for some weights for their sports, for their gym at home. We want them to have immediate visibility of everything that we do sell on this platform, so that they make their shopping experience not just about one shop, but it actually shopping around and buying everything that they need. Again, we're not trying to boycott imported goods. What we want is for people to change their behavior and include locally made products in their shopping sprees as a daily occurrence. And I think that's it for me in a nutshell. I'm not sure if we have questions yet, but I think if they are, we can pop them into the chat, and we'll happily take questions, I think, at the end as a collective. So that's it from me. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, my business partner, and the CEO of RSA Made, Mr. Karamba Jabi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karamba Jabi, the co-founder and CEO of RSA Made. I think Ntai has covered most of the things that are very important in terms of the online platform. I myself have a very big task at hand in terms of making sure that this online platform does what it needs to do, and everyone is happy in terms of the products that we have on, and the customers. Our customers are the vendors. You are our customers. The person that's buying is the third person on the wheel. So the very most important people that we have to keep happy and make sure that their products are always up on the platform and are selling are the vendors. I'm just going to share presentation. Okay, so I'm sure Ntai has covered about who we are and what we do in terms of RSA Made. I will just try and speak about the most important stuff on the platform that we make it easier for the customer to buy. We give customers a seamless buying experience with our dedicated online ordering platform. We increase our satisfaction, our customer satisfaction in terms of making sure that the payments, because we currently accept over 154 currencies on the platform, which any other platform in South Africa doesn't. Even your big platforms like your Takealot don't. We partnered up with a company called Flutterwave, which are one of the biggest payment gateway systems with the green silicon in the US. So we try and make it as simple as possible. We use Momo on the platform in terms of payments. We use PayFast and we use PayPal. So there's a few options in terms of vendors of how they can sell their products and accept payments. Again, and I talked about we don't accept cash payment. Well, we don't take cash payments on us, but we have a system called S-Code. So if a customer buys on the platform, what they can do is that if they select S-Code, S-Code will send them a notification. And that notification you can take to any retailer, whether be it your ShopRite, whether be it your Checkers. You go there with that code at the kiosk, like you're going to buy a plane ticket or anything. You give them that code and they will tell you how much you need to pay. You pay cash over there. We get a notification that says that the platform is, the customer has paid, and then we will deliver your goods. So we try and make it as easy as possible for people to buy. Again, in terms of shipping, we have partnered up with the courier guide. So even your international shipping, we take at least 3 to 5 working days in terms of getting the products overseas. Sometimes it takes less time, depending again if the vendors have stock available on site. We try and boost efficiency in terms of try and make it pay vendors as quick as possible, because we have something called split payments on the system. So the vendor can receive their money instantly. But again, if you have a PayFast account, that we can link to the system. If not, we have our standard payment days, which is 15 days after the product has been delivered. So we have to make sure that the product is delivered, the customer is happy, to avoid any returns, because you can imagine if we pay before the product gets delivered and the customer is not happy, and then we have to contact the vendor to say that please pay us back so that we can refund the customer if the customer doesn't want the product anymore, and those instances do happen at points. So we try and avoid that situation as much as we can. So in the platform, we have different types of mechanisms. A customer can reorder, place an order, and then reorder the product in the next instance. It stays in your dashboard. That shouldn't be a problem in terms of you wanting to reorder the product again. The status of, so the customers can check the statuses of their orders on how far their order is. We do have someone that always checks and makes sure that the order has been delivered and received by the customer. You will get a tracking number if you're the customer in ordering. That shouldn't be a problem at all. The vendors can also update the statuses of the amount of products that they have on the system. So we make sure that we give the vendors access. We train you, we give you a how-to guide after. So we do the initial store setup so that we align with the world-class platforms, because we have to show that our platform too is one of the best in the world, which it is in terms of tech that we have, and in terms of visibility, and in terms of the type of products that we allow to be on the platform. So some vendors will send a product that's taken on their kitchen counter and send and want us to upload. We don't take such products, because we have to, because remember, people buy what they see. And if your product is sitting on or the picture is not professional enough, then unfortunately we can't put it on. But we do offer those services in terms of giving you the access and giving you the pictures that the platform will the pictures that will be more visible on the platform. Because again, remember, your Google Analytics, your Facebooks and all that also check your picture qualities in terms of how your pictures look on the system. And that's how we keep ranking up on the platform. And in terms of buy local or the buy local movement on Google and searching online, we are far ahead of Takealot and all the other guys. We appear #1 all the time in terms of the stats that come out from Stats South Africa when we do those checks in terms of who ranks high in the buy local movement. So we do as much as we can to make sure that we give the vendors the opportunity to be visible all over the world. We get people that buy dishwasher from China. We get people that buy wheelbarrows in Switzerland. So we get customers from all over the world. So you can imagine the scale of people that come onto the platform and that buy and make it, and we try and make it easier for everyone. There's a favorite list again, where a customer can add their products to the favorite list, so that in the next time, so you will get notifications in terms of if you've added something in your favorite list and there is an update or there's a sale or there's something, we will send you, the system will send you those notifications. So we try and automate everything as much as possible, but also give it a human touch in terms of the customer, because most customers don't like talking to systems. A lot of people don't like talking to systems. So we make it easier in terms of having that human touch. Someone will always give you a call in terms of if you bought something or you have a problem with your products or something like that. There's someone always available for with that. And again, our support team is available when sometimes it gets too cluttered in terms of, because you can imagine, we are not a big corporate, but still a small company, but we try and make sure that we answer everything within the day and solve each and every problem by the end of the day which have come up. So there is the ordering process that gets followed on the system. This is just the more technical way of laying it down, the order management workflow. Someone places an order on the website, and then it goes back again to the back end on the management system. The stock gets allocated to that order. The pickup happens once the notification has been sent to the courier system. And then we've been in touch with the vendor to confirm again. So the vendor will get the notification to say there has been an order. And if the vendor doesn't update their pricing or update the stock count, and then we don't have the product, but the customer has bought already, that brings a bit of a problem on the platform. That's why we always encourage the vendors to make sure that they update pricing, because in some instances, if we don't, the customer doesn't care if it's a vendor's problem or it's an RSA made or Proudly SA problem. We are selling the products to them. We are advertising. So each and every single vendor needs to make sure that they update their products on time, and then their pricing is up to date, because You can't sell, and again, pricing needs to be standard throughout wherever you're selling. Whether you're selling on Takealot, you're selling on RSA Made, you're on Price Check, you have your own online store, your pricing needs to be standard all throughout, because if it's not, your product is losing credibility, because someone is going to see it on the other platform for $70. Someone is going to see it on the next platform for 150, and the next platform 200 bucks. In that instance, Google will de-rank your product. So it doesn't matter where your product is saved. Your product won't be visible because Google takes that this is a scam. And then it will start hiding your product wherever your product is trying to appear. Even if we boost, because we have digital marketing that keeps running continuous. And I'm sure people who follow RSA Made, you keep seeing your Hisense, you keep seeing all sorts of products on different days. You'll see different types of products that we run campaigns on. And currently the focus is the Dubai 2020 Expo. So you'll find a whole lot of products that are part of the Dubai Expo. And that's why we encourage all the vendors to be part of this expo, so that we can put you through to the virtual platform, to the virtual expo, to make sure that we make your products visible to the world, and that people at the expo in Dubai too, because there are QR codes that we're going to paste all over the pavilion on the South African pavilion that are linked back to RSA Made, where people can just go scan your QR code, and that QR code is going to take them directly to your online store. So we encourage every single one to do that. So we will set up the initial stage in terms of setting up your store, setting up your virtual expo, and then from there you can maintain your store. You have to maintain your store, because we take it like, if you go to a shopping mall and you get to the shopping mall, you want to hire a store in the shopping mall. What happens is that you don't just hire a store and dump your products in there and leave out and expect the landlord to sell for you. You have to set up your store and make it look visible. You have to tell people from outside of where your new store is. So some vendors think that once they've set up their store, they're going to start selling immediately. Some vendors do that because what they do is that they start telling people, all of their customers, that I'm now available on RSA Made. Here's a link to shop on, because you have your own individual store that you can shop, that you can send to anyone. It doesn't go to the other vendor, or it goes to your individual store that we've set up for you with your name. So you can send that, you can take that link, put it into your website, and put an online shop tab. When you click on that, it redirects back to your online store that's on RSA Made, which is free. So and a lot of people think that in terms of putting up an online store, you will start selling your products immediately. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. There's a whole lot of work that happens behind, and in terms of getting your order management workflow in check, and that your customers receive the notification, the couriers receive the notifications, and the orders are delivered on time. There is a whole lot of work that gets behind the scenes to make sure that happens. Order handling and deliveries. In terms of delivery, free orders over 500. Sometimes it happens that when we have specials, we do the free orders. Standard in terms of 1 to 5 business days, we try and deliver. Standard 75 rand. It fluctuates depending on fuel, because again, the couriers, again, the fuel, if the fuel hikes, obviously the couriers are going to hike the delivery charges a bit. So we have to also on our side. In terms of international shipping, so when orders are placed by Friday 12 p.m. excluding holidays, and generally shipped the next day. So if you order at 8 a.m. and the vendor has the product ready by 9 a.m. and we've logged it at 9 a.m., it is possible that the customer will receive that product by the end of the day. So it all depends on the availability of stock, which is very important that vendors make sure that they keep their stock topped up, or they notify us if they have a problem. And sometimes we had instances where vendors are no more trading, but their products are still live. We do send notification all the time to make sure that guys update their products and make sure that everything is still in check. We do have someone that's always checking on our side. But again, the vendors have to take liberty in making sure that their products are up and running and that their products are always up to date. So like again, I touched on how orders are tracked. There will be a tracking number that will be sent and a tracking link that will be sent to the customer, that the customer can track their orders and make sure that it's simple and easy to make sure that the customer receives their order on time, or if they to avoid all the calling. And then we've partnered up with so our system has installed something called What 3 Words. So that's the technology that Mercedes uses to auto park itself. There's a square in there, and when you park, you'll see on the screen that 3x3 square. So the world is divided, or the globe is divided into 3x3 squares. And within that 3x3 square, there is a 3-letter word. It can be order, handling, delivery. That order, handling, delivery is that address for that 3x3 block. You can imagine how many Mandela Streets we have in South Africa. And when someone orders and types Mandela Street, you're going to have probably 50 of them that are going to appear on your screen. So what 3 Words does, when you type in order, handling, delivery, you'll see where you are. The system will give you your address on your 3x3 block. If you want your delivery ordered in the back door, we can do that. If you want it delivered in the front door, we can do that, because we get that 3x3 address that we will be able to deliver your product right at the door. So it's not a matter of the couriers always, because the courier guy also is integrated with us with that What 3 Words. So they also know. So we don't get calls from the courier system to say, but where's the guy? I'm outside the gate, or I'm next to the green building, and the customer will say, no, come to the yellow corner. No, it doesn't work that way. We deliver exactly where you want your order delivered, and that's how we try and make it easy for customers to get products for you. So this is a collaboration between us, the vendors, to make sure that we always have and that the products are presentable, because we don't want to get stuff. You know, there's some instances where vendors don't package the products properly, or you put it in just a handling bag. Remember, these get picked up by the couriers. So the couriers will take that and then will shove it somewhere. If it's fragile, you have to make note that this product is fragile. Put stickers on that say fragile, because again, you don't want products where water is going to seep in and then you receive your bag that's not looking so great. So we try and make it easy as possible, and together with the vendors, if we make sure that we get that running and make sure that our products are always packaged properly and not flimsily, then all will be okay. I'll just not talk about the chat flow. It's too detailed. Okay, so payment systems available: Visa, Instant EFT, MobiCred. We take credit on the platform. You can pay for products in stages. We have one of those electric cars that cost around 150K. If you go to MobiCred, you apply for credit. You pay MobiCred per month. You take your electric car. You drive away and start business. So we do that. The S code is what I was talking about in terms of you know, we accept payments, or you can go collect on over 6,000 retail outlets across the country. So that's quite a vast way in terms of going on. I think from my side, okay, and again, one last thing, we have an app coming up. So hopefully the app should be live by the end of the month. where it's going to be easier for customers, easier for people to buy on the app, and yeah, I think that's going to be one exciting thing that is coming up for us. And again, for the Dubai Expo, it's going to be awesome for people to go on to an app and shop instead of going typing www.rsamade.co.za. You'll be able to download it on Android and iStore and ISO. So this is going to be quite a great thing for everyone in terms of generating more sales. But thank you everyone for listening. We'll take questions at the end.
Karamba, thank you so much. I'm sorry, our tech team, can you please enable my video? I'm not able to come in as yet. Let me see. Okay, I'll talk in the meantime. Karamba, there are many questions that have been posed to you, and I want to appeal to everybody. Please put your questions in the Q&A box, because you are using the chat box, so we are bound to miss a question or two. But Karamba, if you can be on the line and just if you can maybe stop sharing your screen and come on board, if that's fine. I can't start my videos yet, but we got a question here that the 25% commission is very high, and it makes products uncompetitive. So that was just a comment that was made. I don't know if you'd like to provide comment on that.
Yeah.
Great. I can start my video, and let me give you 3 questions. I think we've got 6 for you. So that's the first one. Also, in terms of the courier guy, are you utilizing them for the international shipping? It's the second one. Then also there's a question about the traffic volume on the site and the monthly sales. So I'm going to leave those 3 with you, and then I'll come back with the others in a bit.
Yeah. So in terms of the 25% commission, I think we are the lowest because we don't offer anything extra above. Takealot charges you $300 a month and $150 for a product to be stored in their warehouse, and they take 15%. So we don't charge a monthly fee. So in essence, we are still the cheapest in South Africa in terms of commission based and what we take. And in terms of the traffic that comes onto the platform, in a week, we get at least 80,000 hits on the platform in just 1 week. So in a month, we're looking at around 300K. Sometimes it goes up to 500,000 hits that come through the platform. And in terms of conversions, like I said, some people get onto the platform today and sell today. So it all depends on how much noise a vendor does. And then in terms of international shipping, yes, the courier guy ships internationally. We've been doing that with them for the past 5 years. So it's really quick. So the last shipment that we did arrived in the US within 2 days. So it left here today. In 2 days, the customer received their order and they had bought bitter crystals. So like I said, people buy different types of things online, and we do sell, and we do make sure that it gets delivered on time.
Thank you so much. Another question is, can you provide companies with API to sync stock on hand sync stock on hand to the website? Let me just see if I got that question correct. So it says, will you be able to provide us with an API to sync stock on hand automatically from our websites? Apologies. That is another question. And then also, can you load more than 1 image per product to promote sales even more? And then we have a question from Elise. The prices for Dubai, should the 25% commission be included in the price? And Karamba, we did pop in the box that we've got a very special arrangement for all of our members who are going to Dubai, so to speak. There'll be everybody who is listed on the virtual expo. Any sales that are facilitated through the virtual expo will be a 5% commission and not a 25% commission. But perhaps you could answer that question in line with the other transactions that will be facilitated through RSA Made. Thanks, Karamba.
Okay, so in terms of the API, an API is when you have your own online store and you plug it into your own online store. So in this instance, no, you will sync your products on RSA Made. So we set up your products on RSA Made, and API is an external app that goes onto your platform to install. No, we're not there. In terms of API, we have our own API on the system. So we can't sync your stock with the stock that you have on your platform, because remember, your products need to go through a vetting process, and that vetting process needs to go through Proudly SA. And when Proudly SA comes back to us and says these products are made locally, we install those products onto the platform, and those products are the product. Because some people will say, let's sync with our platform, but they have other products that are not made locally and they will be on RSA Made. So we make sure that we are able to cap that and make it, and you can put on as many products as you want to put on, as long as they are manufactured locally. Then we can do that. And in terms of pictures, adding more pictures per product, you can add as many pictures as you want per product. There is a carousel that shows different types, different views of your product. So there will be the main product that will appear on the front, and then at the bottom you'll have products that you can browse and see the different size of the products. And in terms of commission, yes, Janine, we spoke about that. The vendors that are already set up, there was already a 25% charge that's charged onto the platform. So we will take the 25%, but we will pay you back the 20% when we pay you as an incentive from the government.
Thank you so much for that. And just to give everybody a sense, the DTIC is doing this project in collaboration with us. So the virtual expo is a brand new element to what we are offering, and we are piloting this side of a virtual expo with the Dubai Expo. That's why we are able to provide a lower commission structure for any orders that are facilitated through the Dubai virtual, well, our Dubai virtual expo virtual platform. I'm just connecting the chat with the questions. There's another question. Do vendors require an export license if the majority of goods are sold internationally? That's the one. Who pays for the international shipment costs? And how do I apply for the virtual Dubai Expo? Those are the last questions. Karamba, may I please request that you stop sharing your screen? And then if you could answer those last questions for us. Thank you so much.
Let me try and stop. Okay, so the first question was the export license. So no, you don't need an export license. We handle all that on our side. We're an online store. We made sure that we are aligned with all the international standards. The only problem is that your product has to align with international standards, like labeling and all that. The US is very critical in terms of what comes in the US. If your labeling is wrong and you don't label your products correctly, and you don't show what your product is made from and all that, they won't allow it. We will be able to ship it, but the US won't allow it in. They will return your product. So on our side, everything is streamlined to make sure that we get the products to where they need to get. But again, the vendors themselves need to educate themselves. If they want to sell their products overseas, what are the overseas standards in terms of shipment and in terms of acceptance of type of products and labeling. Labeling is very, very important in terms of delivery in overseas.
One more question. Should the price per Dubai stand be the same as the price in South Africa, or can it be added to the South African price?
So the Dubai stand, I would encourage people to keep your prices the same. Don't have an international price and have a local price. Remember, someone might be in South Africa and trying to shop in Dubai and saw your product in South Africa, but your pricing is totally different. So I encourage people to keep your pricing standards. There are people who say, I have an international price. That's for your individual customers that you have, that you interact with individually and that you will sell to all the time. Keep your pricing standard if you're selling online. Don't try and, because you're going to complicate the whole process and your products won't be credible in terms of online, because you have different pricing and in different places, but it's the same product. Because remember that people who take your product and will copy your product and then will try and sell it at a really cheapest price. So what online does, it will look at that and it will see that, okay, this product is not sold here for this price, but sold there at a different price. They block you online. So try and give your products credibility and keep this at your prices standard throughout. If you're going to increase your price, increase it everywhere. If you're going to decrease your price, decrease it everywhere. Don't have different pricing unless you're dealing with your customers directly on email and someone called you and you're selling to them in the US and you want to increase their pricing and it's not online. You can do that. But once it goes online, keep it standard.
Wonderful. There are a lot more questions coming through. I think what I'll ask Karamba to do when Taryn is up, because we are running out of time. Karamba, could you answer those questions in the Q&A, if that would be in order? And for you to be a part of the virtual expo, if you're already on RSA Made and you'd like to be a part of the virtual expo, please email Taryn at proudlysa.co.za. We'll put her email address again in the chat box. And of course, this recording is available to everybody attending today. We're also live streaming, so it should also be available on RSA Made. And for individual queries that have come through pertaining specifically to companies, Taryn will facilitate those and make sure you get the answers that you require. And without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to now introduce Taryn. Taryn, if you can put on your video for us. And Taryn is our newest member of the team. Taryn will take all your queries, as I've mentioned. Taryn is the manager managing the RSA Made side of the RSA Made platform, as well as the virtual expo platform for Dubai, but representing from Proudly South African. So we have a dedicated person on our team to really assist our member companies in order to make it effective and to lobby, because we are having to lobby so much to get members participating. So Taryn has been placed to be that person to nudge and to knock on doors and send emails and calls. So Taryn will take you through this wonderful initiative, this virtual expo. So Taryn, over to you.
Thanks, Janine. Yeah, I have spoken to quite a few of the participants that are joining us today on various different levels. You know, from getting you on board to RSA Made to explaining how Dubai works in the virtual platform. It's a really, really exciting initiative that's going on now with the Dubai Expo. There's over 190 countries participating in the Expo. There is a physical one happening in Dubai. Each country has a pavilion. South Africa do have their own pavilion there, just to promote South Africa as a country. As mentioned, it runs over a duration of 6 months. So it's really great time for exposure for South Africa and companies and what we can offer international clients. So with regards to the Dubai Expo, with COVID, a lot of things have changed with how people do business, how expos operate. So with that, virtual expos, you know, came to life, if I could say that. So it's a new process for everyone. It's quite exciting. And it also just assists everyone who can't go to Dubai physically for whatever reason. They can still go and log in, go and see the companies, see the products everyone has to offer. There's also a facility within the virtual expo for people to have virtual chats, virtual meetings with all the different vendors. If they want to, you know, ask any questions, do any business, that facility is there on the virtual expo space. Martin, after me, will obviously walk everyone through the virtual space just so that you can get a feel for what it looks like. With Dubai, it's come around just to stimulate economic growth for Africa, just to show our diverse economy, promote investment, and obviously, you know, to say, hey, buy local, buy South Africa, invest in our country, in our industry, in the people, in our businesses. And we want to showcase the capability and the capacity of SA in terms of, what we can manufacture, our vibrant emerging market that's really starting to come to life. I think people have really started reinventing themselves, which is great to see. January in Dubai is the Proudly South African month. So we're really, really going to be doing quite a push and a drive leading up to January, which is why we are contacting quite a lot of our members saying, hey, come on board, sign up with RSA Made, we'll put you into the virtual expo. It's really great exposure. You can load videos, load your brochures, your catalogs, whatever you want to load on the virtual stand. We have seen a lot of people are looking at the videos, downloading brochures. They are wanting to get into contact with companies. So there is a lot of interest that is starting. And I think building up to our month in January in Dubai, it's only going to increase. So yeah, now's the time to jump on board with us and share the journey with us. So I think it's a good time for South Africa as a whole and our companies just to showcase what we have to offer. So I'm not sure if anyone has any questions regarding the virtual expo. I know we've gone through quite a lot with RSA Made and how to sign up with them. If you are already on RSA Made, then drop me a mail if you want to jump on board the virtual expo, and I'll explain the process to you and the information I need, and the team will start building your stand for you. Takes a few days, but yeah, it's a quick process once we have all the information from you.
Taryn, thank you so very, very much. And I must just highlight what Taryn is saying. It's a quick process as long as we have all the information from you. So there are various elements, information we require, images we require. So we really, if you can send us as much as possible, we can make the process so much faster. So just would like to highlight that to everybody. I think without further ado, so thank you to Karambe. I see he's responding to all of your questions. There are so many. And thank you very, very much for being this interactive. But really, if we might have missed a comment you've made in the chat box because there's so much, please do email Taryn. It's TARYN @proudlysa.co.za. And if Taryn can't answer, she'll bring in Karamba or his team then to provide you the answer that we might have missed because of the chat box being so alive this morning. So without further ado, I want to introduce you now to somebody called Martin Spouts. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Martin. He's our whiz kid, and he's the developer of the Virtual Expo. So, Martin, am I allowed to call you a whiz kid? I hope so.
Well, I'm no longer a kid, so I'm a bit older than a kid, but maybe a wizard might be the right explanation.
Okay. Thank you, Martin.
Perfect.
If you can take us all through the Virtual Expo. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the great opportunity to introduce you to our virtual platform, which we have built together with Proudly SA and RSA Made. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here. Just give me a second. I need to activate a few functions. So can you just confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, Martin. Thank you so much. We can see it.
Perfect. Thank you for confirming. So what we have done is, or what our vision was so because of COVID, we can't travel now to Dubai for the Expo 2020. So we thought of building a virtual platform, and we thought of the process. Let's say, for example, there's an expo happening at Gallagher here in Midrand. So what happens typically? We jump off, we go into our car, we drive to the parking, we jump off, and then we're in front of the building. So this is basically our building. It doesn't look exactly like the Gallagher, but we tried our utmost best. And as you can see here on the bottom, we have here, it looks like your keyboard on your computer, as well as the arrows. So W is for walking forward, S is for backwards, and you have your A for left and your D for right. So we built this with a Unity engine, which is typically used in computer games. So here we are able to literally walk through our expo into our exhibition hall or into our lobby for now. And as you can see, we have here our welcome manager. We have here
going
a video
to be
embedded.
magic. Oh,
So I'm just going to mute this video. So here we are able to, to play videos. We have here our welcome video. If we want to turn to the right, we have here our auditorium where we host our live events. The current event is happening today. And then if we turn to the left, we can then walk through our exhibition hall. If you do not want to walk, because as you can see, it is literally like a normal person walking at the average pace, I would say, you can also just fast forward by clicking into the exhibitors. And let's say, for example, RSA-Made. Should the live chat person be available, it will immediately say, hey, my name is Karamba, click the chat button to talk. Or I think because of the time we have, let's skip this part, but actually, I could now initiate a live chat with Karamba directly. So from here, I go closer to my booth. And as you can see here, this video we played earlier, we can see it in the background. I can, play the sound if I want to, or I can even, enlarge the video and have it sort of played in full screen from here.
About to begin.
Additionally, the Zoom bar is here in my way. Okay, let's try my best. Additionally, as you can see, we have a business card. So here I have the direct contact details of Karamba, as well as his email address and the phone number. And what I can do from here is I can click on that small basket. And here I can see, for example, one product, which would lead me now directly to the RSA online shop. Let's go to another exhibitor. Let's say, for example, Maraphones. Here's the same, each stand, the stand design, we're trying to leave it as like uniform as possible. We can change the color of the stand as well as adding logos here and additional videos. And if you click here, for example, here we have the Maraphones listed, and I can now from here view the details. I have here that small image. And if I want, I can buy the product directly. Once I click on buy now, I'm redirected directly to the RSA-Made online shop. And from here, simply add the product to the cart. And this is where the entire the supply chain process from RSA-Made is initiated. We add the product into our cart, and then we can either go back into our online mall, into our virtual exhibition. And let's maybe go to, who are we taking? Let's take Hisense, for example, because we are quite interested to tech. So we go into the Hisense booth as an example, check what Hisense has to offer for us. And we can now from here, for example, check out the TV, or we don't want to buy a TV today, we can go maybe to Kimberly-Clark. So as you can see, we have already loaded a couple of vendors. Actually, this hall is almost full. We have 30 vendors loaded. So we can, let's say we want to buy some kitchen towels here, add this into our, or open it into our RSA-Made online shop, click add to cart. So now we have basically added here via the Virtual Expo already our two products. Click or check out our cart, view the cart, and basically proceed with the checkout fee or with the entire checkout process from here. Do the online payment, and then the delivery, etc., is then directly initiated via the selected service provider. And as you can see here, we have here various payment providers, MTN, Momo, Rave, as well as PayPal. So here we are able to even accept international payments from here. So the reason why it's currently displayed in US dollar is that on the Virtual Expo, because we're dealing with a lot of international customers, we have decided to list all products in US dollar prices to make it easier for them. Instead of listing in rand, now they have to convert it into their local currency. Let's rather work with a more international uniform currency, so to say, where people can easily now convert the US dollar into dirham or in euros or in Brazilian peso whatsoever. So it's So that's technically the part from my side. If I don't get hold of a vendor, I just want to show you something quickly. If I don't get hold of a vendor by the live chat, I can easily click here on that little envelope and leave a message from here. The beauty is you need to be registered as a visitor. So that's why I don't have to add my name and my email address here. So the moment I send that email off to the current exhibitor, they see exactly that Martin from South Africa has left a message, and then I can immediately reply to the query. So that's it from my side. If there's any question, I would be delighted to answer them in the Q&A panel for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin. If you could, you've stopped your screen share. Excellent. Thank you so much. I trust that was a very comprehensive demonstration of what you could expect as a visitor of the platform. So thank you for that. I would like to check, Mobile, are you still on? There you are from NQ Jewelers. We know him as NQ Jewelers at the campaign, but I just have to say I'm wearing earrings you made. I love them. They're my favorite. I don't know if you can all see them. I also purchased them through RSA Made. It's lovely to have you on the line with us. And if I could hand over to you just to share with our colleagues your experience of being a member, especially a member on RSA Made. Over to you. Thank you. Are you able to put your video on for us?
Okay.
And just unmute.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you for yes. I started with I think it's almost now 4 to 5 years. And it's been a wonderful experience. Working from Soweto at the time, we were always looking for platforms where you could actually promote your jewelry or our jewelry. So we thought that being part of RSA Made and also being part of Proudly South Africa will give us that opportunity. And like I say, it's been a wonderful journey. But also speaking more on the RSA Made online shop, it's important also as a vendor to be actively participating in terms of the development of your online shop. For us, I find it is very easy because you can log in from the back end and be able to load new products, be able to change pricing, be able to also partner and work with RSA Made to promote your products and depends, maybe run competitions and things like that. So for us, it's been a great experience, and also to be part of the Dubai Expo. Again, it's another learning opportunity for us because that's where the world is going. And if we can do it at the international level, and RSA Made and Proudly South Africa can create these platforms for us to be able to put our products out there, I think is a great opportunity. I would like to thank RSA Made and Proudly South Africa for making this opportunity available for us SMMEs.
Thank you so very, very much. Thank you for attending. Everybody, that brings us to the end of our time with you today. But before I go, I did promise that I'd like to share with you at least one of our Living Lekker Locally videos. So I'm going to share that with you. Please bear with me while I share my screen.
It's morning already. Let's do this live thing. Oh, forgot to unpack my new Sheet Street fleece last night. Can't wait to use it tonight. Every time I step into the bathroom, it lightens up my morning because everything is locally made. Now for the hard part, choosing what to wear. Will it be an outfit from Plus Fab today? Or maybe an outfit from Chepa with drip sneakers? Tsepo needs to start polishing his own shoes now. I mean, he's in grade 3. Okay, 15 minutes left. Now for a good cup of coffee to get me ready for the day.
Make your choice. Buy local to create jobs.
There we go. And the story continues. Our work continues. If you have any questions, I think following this session with us today, there will be more questions popping up, and I have seen 1 or 2 more creep in. But please do email all of your queries to Taryn at proudlysa.co.za. Her email address is taryn@proudlysa.co.za. So thank you very, very much for your participation today. And we look forward to hearing from you and looking forward to seeing you in Dubai and on RSA Made. Thank you very much, everybody. Do take care.